What is up, little Lily Earthlings? Welcome back to the Thundering Dice channel with your boys, the Thundering Dice Brothers. And today we are coming back at you with a game stream of consciousness. We haven't done one in a while, so just to remind you of what we do, we just kill some zombies and think about and talk about whatever comes to our minds, generally without much of a plan. But I suppose since we've been talking about Star Trek so much, and everybody seemed to either have, well, everyone had an opinion, has an opinion about what Star Trek is and isn't, should be, could be, what new Trek is and isn't, etc. The list goes on. We may as well just keep up on that vein. So, oh, also caveat: Ian is ill. He has the he has the itis. He has the tussus. So, you know, if he says something ridiculous, more ridiculous than normal, well, forgive him, for he knows not what he says.
Yes, everyone, please forgive me. I speak like an asthmatic and know not what I say.
No, I'm just kidding, guys. It's not that bad. But yes, if I do slightly lose train of thought, it is because my head is full of Sudafed.
Yes.
But no, yeah, dude, that Star Trek video, that was funny. And of course, to cue everyone in, I am talking about our Star Trek is not woke enough video.
Yes, it'll be linked in the somewhere here.
Yeah, we'll link it. Yeah, we'll definitely will. But like everyone had a strong opinion. There was no like real middling opinion. There was just yes or no.
Yeah, and
I found it rather humorous.
Yeah, and a lot of people. Well, you could tell, you know, lieber Zuschauer, that maybe you should all actually pay attention and watch the video sometimes before you comment. Like, it's like a Reddit post, dude, where everyone jumps in the comment to get what's going on and just starts like blindly shooting off without having actually read the article or watched the video. So sometimes, maybe guys, before you actually say what's on your mind and assume you know what we said, actually watch more than, well, actually just watch it, because clearly some of y'all didn't even get past the first minute and a half before saying some dumb shit.
Yeah, my favorite were the people who were like just like, oh, you know, like it's you guys are like completely like full of shit, and Academy is just like really bad, and it is like super woke, and yeah, man, it's just like dudes, guys, chill out. I mean, like, it's an opinion, everyone's allowed to have one, and then even if you disagree, you can, let's just say, explain your opinion in your own words rather than parroting other people you've heard online. Because it was one of those things you definitely noticed, like, you know, like the veins of familiarity between a lot of the commenters was astounding.
And some of this stuff, I mean, there's one guy in particular who was just straight up like, I'm tired of seeing gay shit in front of me. And I'm where are you getting this from? I don't think there was any, like, specifically he said men kissing men.
I mean, if he's talking about Discovery, then I won't give it to him, because that is a complete horseshit comparison anyways, but, like, there is a gay relationship in Discovery, but it's so fucking tame and barely there, you can barely call it a relationship. Ooh, let's get the hell out of here.
And yeah, and honestly, if you have a complaint about a homosexual relationship, then I'm sorry, Star Trek just probably isn't for you, or you haven't watched enough of it because you haven't really learned the lessons that it's teaching you. Star Trek didn't care if you were gay. That's the thing. That's the whole point of it. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. You can be that way. You can be straight, gay, asexual, poly, pan, whatever, and it doesn't really matter too much. Like, very, very, very rarely would it actually need to come into play for a story. It's just it's just like my sexuality would never come into play when I'm on an away mission, exploring the geological features of a new planet that we haven't discovered, or just recently discovered. What would any of that thing have to do with geology or science? Nothing. So that's how Star Trek portrayed and should portray that kind of stuff. And him or other people, I don't know, maybe it's projection, but looking for these things and claiming that they're uber woke, you're man, to just put it nicely, you're reaching maybe. And at worst, you're just kind of obviously not watching and not getting the lessons from it, or Star Trek just straight up isn't for you, and you drank some weird Kool-Aid. And that's the end of my rant. Sorry, that was probably long and rambling, but it is a game stream of consciousness, so I lift the pen from the paper and pass it on to you.
No, yeah, you're not right. I mean, like, there were plenty of weirdos who had those type of opinions, but then, there were also those smart and learned people of calmer demeanors and wiser minds who agreed with us about, that this type of shit is tame, and the people who are complaining online need to relax and just look at the storylines and the baser, oh, son of a bitch, you got a fucking ray gun.
I just got out of the box, yeah. Oh, yeah, here's the thing, too, because people need to also remember that we weren't and are not defending Academy on the merits of its...
writing, because it's fucking awful.
Actually, and we weren't even defending Academy at all. Academy
no, you made that explicitly clear. You're just like, this is not a defense of Academy, even though some defending of Academy may take place. Like, it was as black and white as we could have opened that video.
Honestly, I think most of the video was taken up with us giving examples of Star Trek
OG
that was like
Star
super
Trek.
woke. Oh, god damn it. Well, at the time.
Nice. No, that's exactly what it was. Yeah, I mean, like, we give the 5 examples that takes up most of the point. We have the honorable shout out for Q in
Encounter at
Farpoint, and then I also gave out that special shout out for season 2, episode 2, the episode where number 1 in Strange New Worlds has to defend herself as an Illyrian in court against Starfleet.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, like, I mean, like, most of that episode is giving good examples of like old school Star Trek that is like proving a point, and then the one episode with Strange New Worlds, it'd be like, this is another like good Star Trek episode, but it's just new Trek. You just don't get many of them.
There are a ton of examples that we can give of later episodes of Trek 2 that are beyond the TOS that actually do develop like overt sexual themes or just questions about gender identity and sexuality.
Like Trip getting pregnant.
Yeah, it happens in Enterprise as recently as Enterprise, right? Before the reboots happened. Before that, in TNG, I remember an episode where Riker sort of hooks up with an androgynous person, like a person who's actually identifies with a gender on a planet where everyone else is androgynous and does not like mate and doesn't like identify with a sexuality. So just having the identity of sex becomes deviant on their culture, just to do what Star Trek does and flip it on its head and turn it back on you. And that's I still kind of consider that as some like OG Star Trek. That's TNG's old Star Trek.
It is,
and it's still firmly under like especially the first couple seasons under the guidance of Gene Roddenberry, for better or worse. The first season is fracking, it is what it is.
Yeah, there are some weak points, and then there's some good points too. You just kind of have to, suffer through. For every encounter at Farpoint, there's a,
code of honor.
Black. Yeah, exactly. I forgot the name. I was going to give a less than generous summary for a title, but yeah, code of honor, exactly.
Which is awful enough to be its own episode by itself, but
it really is. Yeah, and it was. I mean, we fucking reviewed that. That's a painful episode. But no, like this shit in today's world. I mean, especially like in comparison to Discovery, Academy is more toned down in like the pushing of what the YouTuber writes will call the message.
The message, yeah. Critical Drinker loves to say that, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
And that's the thing with some of these reviewers too. Like, and here's the thing it's difficult to escape from. It's easy to be really negative about everything, because if you want to, you can find faults and holes and everything. All right, let's like really, really easy example, low hanging fruit here of this: The Lord of the Rings. If you want,
you got me.
If you want to, if you are incapable, let's say, of disassociating yourself from your reliance on lore, the movies are outstanding, right? However, if you look at it, if you start to look at it from, let's say, just a lore perspective, like we do with the Rings of Power stuff we do, if we just start breaking down the lore stuff, man, there's a lot of things there. They're like, ooh, that's wrong. That was poorly done. That was retcon. That's just glossed over. That was not right. You could give us a million examples. I know.
Oh yeah,
But that doesn't
everything with
change-
Faramir in the second movie is flashing in my mind right now.
So you can,
but that does not change.
Yeah, you can
how
always
good.
find some shit to complain about every single where. So it's easy to become too negative about stuff.
Yep.
But some people sort of make a living being negative about stuff. And here's the sad fact: videos about what's wrong with something tend to do better from our own
Yeah.
limited experience. So people like to see stuff. They like when people tell them, oh no, here's what's wrong with something. This is bad. This is terrible, and here's why. And then get to be like pretentious and hypercritical and start picking apart story elements and character elements and lore elements ad infinitum. And sometimes we lose scope of the fact that we're supposed to be entertained, and maybe we lose the entertainment value slightly when we sit there and try to nitpick everything like we would in a film class.
Yes,
That does not stop me from wanting to nitpick things, because it's really, really apparent when care is not taken, when lore is overlooked, when effects take over
When
for story.
exactly.
Those things are glaringly obvious, and it's great when there are things that aren't. So sometimes it's good for me to remind myself that I want to be entertained sometimes, and I need to just allow myself to be entertained.
Yeah. And then also, like, 2 points here. A, it is, I mean, like for our own small, limited experience, yes, being negative about something definitely is an easier way of getting more views. But there's like the one opposite of that, and it's for our channel at least, and it's the best of Babylon 5. That episode that we did has always viewers trickling in. It was super well received. And it's one of our better views. It's one of our better videos for this channel.
That's true.
It's the one that it's like see, this is like this is when like great writing changes everything. Like, because Babylon 5 just is that well written that the best episode has so much about it, and the fan base is so fucking loyal and loves it so much. I'm like, I'd actually say, dude, Babylon 5's fan base is way better than Star Trek's fan base.
Well, here's the thing about Babylon 5, okay, and okay, fine. Not all Star Trek is serialized. A lot of it has overarching stories. DS9 has that. Voyager has that. But TNG and original
TOS.
series don't have that. Enterprise does and doesn't, different ways.
Depends on what season we're talking about.
And they also do have Monster of the Week kind of sprinkled throughout. So I don't know.
Like the zombie Vulcans.
I was yep. The Expanse, man, that was some crazy stuff. All right, that was enjoyable. I suppose it was. It was different.
Yes, it was different. Not to derail you though on what you're saying.
Nice early aughts, like vague sci-fi horror.
Yeah. Though, did I screw you up in your train of thought?
Damn right you did. Now I completely forgot what I was saying. Thank you very much.
I wish I fucking knew.
Interrupted. It's like coitus interruptus, but publicly.
Dude, it's the Sudafed, man.
What? I'm not on Sudafed.
Yeah, but you're my brother. We have a shared connection. We're not twins, but we got the twinning going on.
Twin it.
Oh no, I had a second point to make after my Babylon 5 point.
Sorry, we're talking about overarching storylines. Babylon 5 was just awesome in the fact that, network fuckery notwithstanding, it had a great overall 4-season arc.
Yeah. Yeah,
Tons
it really
of satisfying payoffs.
Yeah, tons of satisfying payoffs. A great story just through and through. I mean, like, as you said, 4-season on purpose. Season 5 is the weak one. I mean, like, I really like... I know, like, we have a contention about this, but, like, I really dig Byron.
God, he's so irritating.
He's
such a bad... For you, who is such a fan of writing and believable character development, he exhibits neither of those things. He's neither well-written nor a good character. The concept of Byron is good. But it's like someone saying we have the concept of a plan. Wonderful.
No, I will agree. I will agree that, like, Byron and the Telepath Rebellion and everything that goes on in Season 5 is more like me talking about the Phantom Menace, Star Wars, and it's like, it's really good, but you have to factor in everything else about the lore to understand what the movie is. and you kind of have to take the movie as or the season 5 in this respect as it's like it's really good, but you don't think about it too much. But no, yeah, you're right. Like it's definitely the weak one, and Byron's like the actor is not the best, and he isn't the most believable, and his whole everything that kind of goes on with like the cult and how it goes into Babylon 5 and Lita going kind of mad, and then Sheridan pointing a gun at her head and like, well, you cannot touch one who's been touched by the Vorlons, and it goes a little too far.
And it's really a shame too that they decided to go in the direction that Sheridan and co were going to basically ignore the telepaths and not help them out very much, and actually basically sort of treat them very badly after the war.
Yeah, it's real. They're pretty fucking. I mean, like, I know that Sheridan does the better job, and he tries his hardest in quotation marks, but
they got the wrong end of the deal for all the sacrifice they made against both Shadows and EarthGov.
Yeah.
So
and the fact that they're freaking created by the Vorlons as weapons.
Yeah.
And all they really want is a homeland of their own. I mean, like, the way Byron goes about it, obviously, is not the smartest way to get people to give you a homeland, but with that type of knowledge and knowing what like, it's kind of hard not to demand that type of right.
Yeah, I can't fault him. And the big galaxy's a big place. Like, asking their people, be like, hey, man, like, the shit's not going well for us. The Psi Corps is terrible, and they're like, and now that all the terrible stuff the Psi Corps did has been even more exposed, people are even less trusting of Psi Corps psychics, or fuck, now what am I thinking of? What are they called? Not psychics. Telepaths. Thank you. Than ever before.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. It's not easy, but they're definitely dead worlds. Like, give them the Marcab home world. Is that too dark?
Dude, that's pretty fucking macabre. Holy shit, man. Even for me.
Whatever. Just send some Wally
it's the ultimate
robots in
recycle
first to clean some stuff up, and it's just a mass grave, I guess. That's a little bit messed up, isn't it?
Just a little bit.
Well, how about there must be other worlds that they could terrorize. I don't know.
I'm sure there is.
If they could colonize Mars, then there are other ways to colonize other planets, and we know there are colonies of like Centauri and Narn, and they're all whatever you want to call them, for better lack of a better term, M-class breathers.
Yeah, definitely. Or fuck, actually, I mean, like, dude, think about it this way. They didn't have to blow up Babylon 5. They could have given it to the telepaths.
That's a good point. Or, Babylon 4 was floating around in space somewhere. Can they have given that to him?
Because actually, that's a good question. You don't know what happens to Babylon 4 after Shadow War.
There's some comic book that came out that does explain it, and I don't know, some race like took care of it for like 900 years, hidden away, and then eventually Sheridan orders it to be destroyed sometime after the events of the Shadow and the Earth War, so that all evidence of it is erased, so no one can access it, so no one could ever like recognize it, or you know what I mean. Oh, hang on, I've got the thunder gun, so I got to blast it away. But I don't. That's a real vague remembrance of like a Reddit post or a comic book or who knows what from where. So all of it may be fiction too in my head. I may have just been hallucinating all that.
I mean, could be hard to know.
But even if that's the case, yeah, B5, you could have given it to them. Or is it too dangerous? B5 is a bit dangerous. You could just disarm it.
Yeah, probably. Wait, how fucked up is that? Like, what, you're gonna give them a planet, but you're not gonna allow them to have fucking weapons?
No, but I would say that I think it might behoove them to not have... Oh, no, bollocks! Shite bollocks. Why did I even go back in there to look for what was in that box? It's probably something completely worthless. Whatever, I had my revenge against these fuckers. But that was unfortunate. You know what sucks about getting the ray gun that early is it's almost impossible to stack up points.
Yeah, that was one thing I've been noticing, because I'm always thousands ahead. Oof, I don't know how this is gonna work. And now to the stairs.
Man, I could make a joke about this, but that hits way too close to what happens at the end of Wrath of Khan, the beginning of number 3, or the end of number 3, and I don't want to.
No.
You can imagine where I was going, though, right?
Yes. Oh, I'm dead, and so are you.
Oh, we're totally dead, yeah.
Yeah, no spoilers for the next video to come on after this one. But speaking of that, you do have to figure out your one for the video after.
I know.
And for anyone who's listening this long, don't worry. We're usually
It'll come to me in a dream.
In a dream. And last night's shipwreck was no accident. It was the great beast of the Loch. And for those who know what we're talking about, let us know in the comments. We'll tell you if you're right later on.
That'd be very impressive. I mean, just write it. Seriously, write
just
it in the
say-
comments if you know what that tiny little snippet was. We're not going to talk anymore about it.
If you do, you're my fucking hero.
But so, can you, or would you be able to tell me if you like Star Trek or Babylon 5 better? Just like knee-jerk reaction, which show? If you had to take
Babylon
one,
5.
Okay, one show to the desert island, you would take
Babylon
Babylon 5.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, desert island question changes it for me a little bit. Because
Why? Because like Voyager has 7 seasons and Babylon 5 only has 4 good ones.
Yeah, because if I could take Star Trek, the entirety of Star Trek, I would have so much to occupy my time with, you know what I mean? But Babylon 5, unfortunately, I'm limited to like 5 movies and 5 seasons of television. And maybe I can take the comic books with me too, possibly. That could be fun. I wonder if the genie would let me do this in this scenario, but... damn. Yeah, Star Trek would be cool because of the breadth or length of the series, but... Babylon 5, man, it is better.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, if I was stuck on an island and I was waiting it out, I would do the entirety of Star Trek because there's a lot more to watch, yes.
Yeah,
but if I could only watch one or the other for the rest of my life, Babylon 5, hands down, 9 times out of 9.
9 times out of 9.
I know, right? Nice subterfuge there.
Yeah. So... I don't know what is it about B5 though that makes it more rewatchable. I think like I've gone back to random episodes of B5 and I know which episodes I like to go to in B5 more so than I do about Star Trek. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I have to force myself to not read the episode descriptions when I'm browsing for an episode to watch. I'm like, I've seen that, or that's not that great. It's not that great. I'm like, no, just watch an episode. And mostly I'm always like, oh, it's a great episode, or I remember that was so cool, or whatever. I'm pleasantly surprised. Sometimes I'm like, ooh, hell no. But Babylon 5, I can generally just be like, okay, I want to watch Severed Dreams, man. I know what's going to happen. I want some laser battles, and I want epicness. Severed Dreams, baby. Do I want to watch the heroic outcome? Do I want to watch early Sheridan, like, come to terms of being captain? Yeah, well, I'll watch the Sheepdog episode, you know? Like, this is... I just know which ones I want to go to.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. For me, like, Star Trek is really dope and brilliant and groundbreaking. You know, it allows Babylon 5 to exist, because in the same way, like, you know, like Star Trek allows Star Wars to exist. You needed something to finally break through. Ooh, shit. You try to fucking kill me with your grenade?
I don't think I can kill my grenade.
No, you can't. But, like, but every time I see a grenade, I'm like, oh, fuck, run away, because, you know, it's the multiplayer instinct.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice, perfect. So I really like rewatching TOS for the most part. I mean, season 3 is obviously nice. Those bastards is the weak one, obviously, but seasons 1 and 2 have so many great episodes that I love rewatching. That being said, though, Babylon 5's episodes and like the whole storyline hits. It has a gritty realism to it, and it's like built into the foundation of how we understand military roles and civilian government, and all these like intricate, you know, like ways that like an actual government would become part of a world system where like you would have like alliances, but not quite as strong as the Federation. You know, about the Babylon 5 advisory board and things like that in the League of Non-Aligned Worlds seems to be a more better representation than the Federation Article 5 NATO style charter.
Yeah, the Federation's sphere of influence, let's call it that, like that. And the fact that it all seems to be centered around Earth, and that there's, I mean, you don't really get a ton of insight, at least in, like, TOS or DS9 or Voyager, really, about any kind of internal struggle and strife within the Federation Council, really, do you? Not like in Babylon 5.
Yeah. Like, everyone seems a lot more, except for the episodes where, I mean, there is those type of things. But even then, they're still very muted. Like, actually, I don't know. There's actually, I can't really think of any real internal conflict right now.
Yeah, except for the weird one where they get taken over by those aliens, and Riker and Picard end up shooting Commander Maddox and his head explodes. I love that that visual.
Yeah,
that's some old school Star Trek right there. The exploding head.
Yeah, you always gotta love exploding heads. But no, yeah, okay, so yeah. Yeah, like the Federation always put on too much of a united front to make sense for a multi-world organization. Yeah, like the way Babylon 5 is set up, in neutral territory, multiple investors, and the way the governments view each other, you know, there's aminos, like, I mean,
open hostility and war.
Open hostility. I can't say the word right now. Yeah. Like there's war between member nations and shit like that. It spills over into Babylon 5. Each planet has a major ambassador there, so like everyone is represented, and like you get a better sense of alien cultures in Babylon 5 than you do in Star Trek, to a certain degree. I mean, it's because like there's a lot more of a limited sample size in Babylon 5, obviously, which allows for more development into their societies, and they're not going from planet to planet, but the fact that there are less races out there and you get more of an insight into them makes it more of a real feeling. And also maybe just like slightly more like in the realm of reality, because I think Star Trek overpopulates the universe.
Just too many races.
Yeah, I think there just is.
And they all do look way too humanoid. I mean, just a couple ridges here and there. And I know we're bound by some of the laws of just like physics, and let's get there all bipedal, all right? And at least, oh man, I'm out of bullets for this damn Car 90, this stupid, whatever the hell it's called. You know that, POS.
Oh, the
Spectre.
Wait, the CZ-95?
Spectre.
Oh, the Spectre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it.
You good?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so like there's that. The space battles make a lot more sense in Babylon 5 than Star Trek. I mean, Star Trek, the fucking enemy, depending on which one you're talking about, the main ship is whizzing around like it's a single fighter, defying the laws of gravity and taking a like these ridiculous turns and everything else. Babylon 5 seems a lot more, I mean, like our breakdown does a good job, you know, capital ships engaging capital ships, small Furies, squadrons taking on squadrons, punching holes for the bigger ships, these type of maneuvers, outflanking taking a while.
Breaching pods.
Yeah, breaching pods. You have to physically land on an enemy's location.
The ability to use a jump kite or create your own jump point is a tactical advantage.
Yep. You don't have to worry about, like, and in this respect, you don't have to worry about the bullshit MacGuffin of transporters. You actually have to, like, it, because I mean, because when you bring transporters into warfare, it really does kind of change the name of the game and makes battles a lot harder to fight. Because, you know, I mean, like the Klingon attack on DS9 when they're invading Cardassia, in threat to the Dominion, they transport a lot of Klingons on DS9, but not enough. You would just swarm the place to the point where
as soon as the shields were down, your entire goal, if you're going to take over a station like that, would just be pound the shield generators wherever they are, or however you take them down, and then just flood the zone. I mean, breaching wouldn't. Yeah, that's the thing that transporters are too OP'd, and if you're and the Federation is so technologically advanced compared to so many races that, and just like the Klingons are and the Romulans are, the more conquest-oriented species are, that it wouldn't be a contest most of the time. They'd be like, dude, you don't have shields. We're just gonna board you and kill you and take your shit that we want, and we're gonna leave. And that's just how it'd be fucked up. That's how some species like the Klingons would play it, probably. Whether that's honorable or not, I don't know. I mean, Worf is sort of the only honorable Klingon in a weird way. Killer of Gowron. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Or, like, you could just... If you wanted to end a battle really quickly, all you'd have to do is just start transporting sections of the hull.
Yes, exactly. It's one of those things like warp drive. Don't really think about it too much. Warp drive works at the speed of plot.
Exactly.
Shields are just as strong as the plot armor needs it to be. Stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Data is exactly as smart or as resourceful as the MacGuffin is needed in that moment. I mean, how many times is like Data be the one who figures something out, or is the key to everything, or hiding stuff? I love those episodes. It's because Data is a great character, and Brent Spiner just nails it.
Yeah, and that's like another reason like why I like Babylon 5 more than Star Trek in this respect, is because Babylon 5, I mean, like, all the characters are interesting and they all have backstories and they're all able to do these type of things in a more natural way. Star Trek just has these interesting characters that just have all knowledge that is needed whenever it is needed in no real, like, understandable way.
Yeah. And so that, like, some technical ability that just seems, I call it, well, it's sort of like the House thing. House just has this ridiculous.
He just knows everything.
Whether it's related to medicine or not, he can just pull all this totally tangentially related information out of his encyclopedic knowledge. Yeah, it's infuriating. So, a lot of characters in Star Trek have the same kind of thing. They have like, and it's fine. Just call it competence, like porn. They're all super competent in their jobs, like uber competent. They all find crazy ways to solve all these problems because obviously no one ever dies or the ship doesn't blow up.
No, because like actually, Stamets makes a joke about that in Discovery. Be like, well, what do you expect from a crew of like 100-something overachievers? You know, and it's like that's basically what every single starship crew is just the best of the best of. I mean, they're the NFL team of everyone.
Especially if you're talking Especially if you're talking about the Enterprise.
Yeah, fucking flagship.
In TNG, it's very specifically the flagship, which it's not really the flagship. But the flagship, it means something different for them. I think the flagship to me means we're like, it's the capital ship of a fleet.
Yeah.
You know, and the Enterprise is never a capital ship of a fleet until like Wolf 359 or something, you know, but that's a special circumstance. Generally, it's out exploring. So I take that just to mean it's the best of the best. Like, this is our best explorer, diplomatic, science wizard vessel. Especially in TNG, where the stakes get a whole lot different. It's a lot more diplomacy and a whole lot less. This space alien is basically taking away this whole region of space, or these creatures have taken over this entire planet, or this entire planet has basically been decimated because no one can exist over the age of 13,
or this entire solar system is dead,
or magic is real in some crazy way, and we'll figure out what kind of magic it is. You know? It's all kinds of stuff like that. Whereas TNG oftentimes was, there's a diplomatic problem, and we must solve it with measured reason in a room with monologues and soliloquies. And I promise you, I wasn't trying to do a Patrick Stewart. That was just British accent number 4.
Nice.
If I was going to do a Patrick Stewart accent, I would practice it a whole lot more. You know, only thing I can say off the cuff is, "Beverly, bring the boy to the bridge."
The boy to the bridge.
The boy to the bridge. Number 1.
With me. Yeah. So, yeah, like, that's... like that, and then I like the first ones, you know, like the Vorlons and the Shadows and the elder races kind of helping the younger races and then basically going mad and then killing their charges, basically. You know, it's like the parent that drowns their child in the bathtub.
I mean,
All right, reload.
Reloaded.
And then, you know, like having to figure it out. I mean, you can call maybe, you can kind of call Lorien sort of hokey, you know, like, oh yeah, you actually get to see the first one.
What does that actually mean? Like, it's one of those things that I've seen,
It's also
I've watched, I've
non-provable.
glossed over, but I don't really know, like, what exactly
He is the first
is.
being, he is the first being to achieve sentience.
Okay.
Which... And like, and at that point, and in his time, you know, the like his race was naturally immortal. You know, like death had yet to occur. And then the way he explains it, like he thinks the universe decided that for there to be change and growth, life had to be short. So the generations that came after them grew old. I mean, grew up, grew old, infirmal, and then died. But those of them who were first, you know, went on. Kind
Should
of
be
as
a
like just
hell of a way. Okay, so
ancient shepherds.
he's the
forever.
first one. So why do you think he has this strange ability to give just that little spark of life back to Sheridan there? Coax what was left back, I suppose I should say. There was a spark of life. He just was able to coax it back into something.
Yeah, he's like, I cannot create life. I can only breathe on the remaining embers.
Correct. Yeah.
I kind of just like,
Magic.
well,
Some
they
stuff is
they
space
describe
magic, like
he does just well Sheridan does have Franklin run a scan on him, and when he's telling Delenn what happened, he's like, there's like microscopic, you know, like organisms that are repairing my cells and like sustaining them. So I kind of figure that what Lorien did essentially did was give some of his immortal essence up, or that, like, a part of that energy to Sheridan, knowing that it would like such a small fraction of it would, oh shit, there's the box.
yeah.
Right?
I thought you were going for it.
would you know, would be like, all right, cool, I'll give you like 0.00001% of my whole body, and you'll get 20 years, and it won't matter to me because I can't die, except by sickness or shit.
Oh no.
I just jumped. Yeah, that's bad. Except by, like, you know, illness, or, I mean, injury.
No, I got trapped. No. Oh, I threw my monkey, but I still got trapped. I hate that so much. I just threw it in a bad spot, you know? Like, I got trapped between, like, people coming from a corridor and the guys behind me.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well. But what I like about Star Trek a lot is, yeah, there's a lot of it, but so much of it is just, what kind of weird thing can we, what odd position can we put them in, or what scenario can we thrust upon them every single week, you know? Like,
Yeah.
you know, and the planets didn't really matter. There was just like foam and plastic backdrops with some different lighting. Sometimes it was red, sometimes it was purple, sometimes it was a mix, most times it was, and there's a painted backdrop, and that's kind of neat stuff. Because it didn't really matter where they were. All that really mattered is it was like, you know, some combination of Bones and McCoy and Kirk and some extras doing something, or being like, or meeting another alien that like questions their preconceptions, or does something unexpected or terrifying or new,
Yeah.
or
bars
is like
their path.
a ghost out of the past sometimes, just like a straight up, like, I don't know, we don't like character studies very much, I guess, but there's plenty of that kind of stuff sometimes when, like, the ghost of, you know, McCoy's past comes, the ghost of Kirk's past, the ghost of Spock's past, like these.
Yeah, because I mean, like, you have, I mean, for Kirk, I mean, there are multiple ones. One of the best ones is Obsession.
Yep.
With the gaseous cloud that smells sweet and killed all of the.
Is it those, it smells like apples or
honey?
Honey. That's right.
Yeah, McCoy. I mean, he kind of has to face the past with his girlfriend who turns into the salt
Yep,
monster.
so that's at least one example of that.
Spock has to face his past like all the fucking time.
With his
Like
father.
Amok Time is like his father, A Journey to Babel. He has to face his dad. Amok Time, he has to face his Vulcan instincts and get rejected by his bitch of a girlfriend or wife.
Exactly.
In the Faint episode, I can't remember the name, but like when Starfleet orders Kirk to go insane so they can steal a Romulan tribe, he kind of has to like face the weird like, oh yeah, by the way, I this is my Romulan lover sort of that I knew somehow somewhere, even though it doesn't make sense in for the Balance of Terror episode where you're clearly established, oh actually wait, there actually might be an offshoot of Vulcan and it was the Romulans, so and if they still have our base level of paranoia and shit like that, then weakness is something we dare not show. So like yeah, there's that. Scotty, he doesn't actually really have to face his past. He just has to like face getting taken over by an evil alien and forced to murder people.
Well, the only thing that really matters, I guess, is he does have a deep distrust of Klingons.
That's true, he does. And he's able to hold it back until they start insulting the Enterprise.
Yep. Oh,
Fuck.
snap.
That's why you don't stay here this long.
There we are. Alright, let's get out of here. I overshot it.
Right.
Damn fucking gravity. Gravity is working against me.
Against me.
Oh, man.
I don't think. I mean, so yeah, like there's plenty of like character studies and things that they have to fucking overcome.
But the nice thing
And
about
then,
it,
like,
though,
Kirk-
there's so much that's not that kind of stuff. So much of it is just let's do stuff and find stuff and fight stuff.
Well, no, yeah, that's that. There's that too. But like, even the parts where they have to overcome, it isn't something that's like the whole story isn't about Nancy Wheeler I mean, and McCoy's relationship towards her. It's like the deaths. And he doesn't act like a schoolboy. Like if it was written today, they would make them all stupidly immature. Well, maybe not. I might be being a little hyperbolic here and completely derogative, but there's a good chance that they would make them or make the story way too like high schooly and like be like, what is this, an episode on the CW or some shit like that. Just the way they crafted these narratives in TOS especially was just of a much more mature nature, and that was like the backdrop, not the episode. The episode was about something else, with this sprinkled in to give it a more human touch. Which is exactly how a story should be. There should be a story that is driving the narrative forward, but the people interacting with that story get touched by it in different ways, and that's what you see. You don't make a story about someone's background in this respect and then weave a space narrative around it and expect everyone to be down with it.
And that's a big problem with some of the Strange New Worlds. I guess a big part of that is it's so much character driven rather than just space exploration and stuff like that. Like a lot of it, I don't know.
I mean, all of season one
explores Spock's relationships too deeply, and they spoiled the whole shtick by giving Pike foreknowledge.
Oh god, yeah, that really annoys me.
Yeah, like don't do that. Just take that all away. Don't have him burdened by some existential crisis all the time. It's not necessary. Let him have existential crisis by what he's facing in the deep unknown of space, because there's going to be a lot of it. There's enough of it. You don't need to have some crazy I'm going to die in 5 years crap, or I'm going to be horribly disfigured stuff. And you also don't need a ton of Spock having sexy time relations constantly. We don't really. Why does it matter who he's always in a relationship with? Like, if you want to have a couple episodes where he explores that, like they do in TOS, that makes sense. Like cool. Star Trek is always good about taking something. Let's do a one-up episode where we explore Star Trek's soft side, and Spock will have a lover. Sweet.
Yeah.
But you don't have to have like a whole running storyline about it for season after season. I'm sorry, I'm ranting about this now, but it's just so fucking lame. Know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, like no, I definitely agree with the Strange New Worlds criticism. I mean, there's way too much emphasis on Spock's relationship. There's a way too much emphasis on actually Pike's relationship too. I think with whatever her name is,
I
Captain
agree.
Patel.
Yeah.
Um,
The only relationship you should have is with the Enterprise, like a good captain. My ship, who I love like a woman, is disabled.
Oh god. Like season 1, yeah, of Strange New Worlds is just way too. Like every episode focuses on one person's very traumatic past, and they all have something or multiple somethings. And yeah, I mean, like, you know, like not every person grew up in a perfect family in the world, and even in Star Trek land. Sure, I get that, but my god, they lay it on so thick. It's, you know, I mean, it's the exact opposite of Bilbo's analogy. Too much, yeah, like too little butter scraped over too much bread. This is, no, I'm just gonna drown my bread in butter until the bread is completely fucking liquid.
You know what's really kind of ironic about it too, I think. In the Star Trek universe, we've gotten to some like close to or total post scarcity, especially for these guys here, especially in on the Enterprise, and their upbringings weren't like, as far as I know, you know, in colony worlds with scarcity and stuff like that. So all the trauma that these people underwent as children all has to be like this, like deep emotional, neglectful, like fucking spiritual trauma. You know, it can't be, I grew up poor and destitute, and daddy beat me coming home from the coal mines stinking of whiskey and beer. You know? Like,
No, yeah, it has to be like my entire family died on a shuttle accident. I have massive PTSD from the Klingon War. I have massive PTSD from the Klingon War and also murdering a buttload of people in cold blood. I have massive PTSD from the Klingon War, also from murdering people in cold blood, and also from the fucking transporter saying, you know, clear the pad, wounded, incoming, or Pike's frickin'
existential dread about his existence.
Existential dread of thing, or number one's thing about being an Illyrian, being illegally entered into Starfleet, or Noonien Singh's past, and her being like, oh, I'm so against augments and I really hate them and I'm prejudiced against myself and I'm always feeling bad about it. Or, I mean, I'm running out of people, but like, seriously,
yeah,
I've gone
they
through
all
the
have
entire
a thing.
bridge
They all
crew.
have a thing. They've all got to have a backstory, and it's all going to inform their stories. I don't know what Ortega's was. I can't. Can you think of what hers?
She's
might have been?
the Klingon War.
Oh, Klingon War. Okay, yeah, of course. There
And
we
then
go.
she also gets like PTSD from getting taken over, getting kidnapped onto the Gorn ship at the end of season 2 to the beginning of season 3 until she makes friends with the Gorn in the really shitty Metro episode that makes me want to like it's a great episode right until the point where like, oh yeah, psych, this was all a simulation done by a fucking alien species that we're doing a callback to TOS, but we're doing it in completely the wrong spirit, and fuck off, we're going to make sure that no one remembers this.
Oh my god, there's a lot of fucking zombies there. Yeah. So that's, yeah. I mean, and you know why we don't get this kind of like, here, I'm running upstairs. Okay, join me up
I'm
here.
dead.
Oh balls.
Yeah, no, go out.
What was I gonna say now? Fuck.
Why we don't get good things in Star Trek.
Because we don't have enough episodes to do it. Now, if if they gave us 15, 20, 22 episodes like we used to get, I don't know. There's enough. There's enough time there to make every episode a little bit different. And then, you know, those 8 episodes that have something to do with character stuff are spaced out over 22 episodes. So it doesn't feel like you get an overload of it. You know, maybe that's what it is. It's not that we're getting more of it. It's just proportionally we're getting more of it. Instead of having 1 episode in 4 be like that, we're having 1 episode in 1 be like that.
Yeah. No, that is pretty true. Yeah, because like, I mean, like if we just talking about Strange New World or just the way, I mean, all 8 episode seasons work. I mean, you know, episode 1 is the intro, and then episode 8 is the finale. So episodes 2 to 4 are like, you know, depending on what it is, it's like either complete. You'll have some setup for the end plot, but it'll still be mostly like interpersonal and shit like that.
Right.
And then episodes like 4, 5, and well, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, like it's just too cramped. Like there's just not enough time to enter in a good enough story, build that story over multiple episodes, also have enough time where you could add in these interpersonal relationships and this not necessarily like straight drama, but the idea that these people are real and you are in a whoa shit, and that you are in a place that is living and breathing, but also has to have a story that allows that place to feel like it's living and breathing. And yeah, on 8 episodes, it's just fucking not enough.
And that's one of the cool things about it. Again, the Enterprise can feel more like a character when you give it more time. And so think about how many episodes of TOS or TNG or Voyager or DS9 were solely concerned with saving the ship.
Oh, so many.
The ship was under attack by like a computer virus.
That is every episode of TOS.
To the hull. It's so often. So the ship is so much more a part of the show, and I don't know. Maybe that's another thing that's missing too, because the ship doesn't get to be its character as much when all the characters need to have, I don't know, character moments.
Yeah.
When all the humans have to. Oh, damn it. When all the humans have to have character moments, the ship never gets to have one too, and it's just a vessel that transports them around.
And then also building off of that, since there are like so many space battles and like lasers flying and just like all the way everything is made today in these like ridiculous fight scenes, the ships get like such great pounding, and then in the next scene they just get yeah, we'll do one. We'll end on this. And like the ships just get so
they get fixed somehow all the time.
Yeah, they get fixed. It's like so quickly, just within like one scene, basically. Even if it like there is like I think in Discovery or no Enterprise. No.
Enterprise is the only one that does it right, sort of.
Yeah, like after X amount of time in space dock, like we are now ready to get back out there and shit like that. But because like the way these things are crafted and the way how fast all these battles happen and the repairs and shit like that, you'll never get like a moment when Kirk explodes the Enterprise and says, "My God, Bones, what have I done?" And McCoy gives in that fucking famous thing, like do what you've always done. You turn death into a chance of life or something. I can't quite remember.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. So like you
turn death into a fighting chance for life.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So like those type of super impactful scenes when the fights are a lot more measured and orderly and like submarine-y and intense. So like when the ship does actually get exploded or explodes or whatever happens,
crash into a planet.
Yeah, it's so much more of a meaningful impact. But like when the Enterprise crashes into the planet on in Beyond, in the third movie of the Kelvin timeline, no one gives a shit about the Enterprise because, dude, we've seen it get destroyed so many times already.
Yeah, but when it gets destroyed for the first time in Star Trek 3, it's pretty damn impactful. That's when he says,
that's my point.
Done. Like that's a pretty amazing moment.
It's something that we'll never get again.
Yeah, because it happened once like that, and after that, the Enterprise always survived. Like even in the undiscovered country, where a torpedo literally breaks through from bottom to top through the entire saucer section, and Spock is like, it appears the hull has been compromised. I wonder how bad, and you're like, oh, pretty damn bad, and it looks pretty fucked, and they're still able to fly away, but it's its last ride, but it didn't get destroyed at least. So yeah, that one time it did get destroyed like really, really mattered. And it mattered so much too because the entire next movie you're without the Enterprise. An entire character is missing.
Yeah. They have to go home in a foreign vessel.
Yeah. An enemy vessel.
And it's alien looking.
Yes.
I mean, like in the inside it's alien looking. It's all red and shit like that and it's dark.
And it smells funky.
And it smells funky, and they make fun of it.
The Klingon food packs were giving Scott a sour stomach.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Did you open that up?
Yeah. Yeah. I think the bottom line is Star Trek is awesome, and Babylon 5 is also awesome. They're just awesome in different ways, and one is not necessarily better than the other. It's just
True.
they're just different stories, but one is better written than the other.
I also call one sort of more near future sci-fi, if that makes sense. Like, I know it's not really near future. It's not, like The Martian, 50 years in the future or 30 years in the future or even less. Well, I can't remember exactly when The Martian takes place, but probably maybe 2050s or something. Either way, that's kind of near Earth sci-fi, right? Or near future sci-fi. But I guess Babylon 5 is kind of close to that because it is sort of striving to have some realism to it. It doesn't have just magical deck plating that keeps you on the ground. It has a rotating section, so there's some believability there. They put some thought into the physics of it. The way the space battles are conducted, a little bit more like you've described. They're a little more believable. They're, and the only time we really get something like that is old school Star Trek with TOS, where they really did kind of lean into the almost naval submarine aspect of warfare might be.
Yeah, like Balance of Terror is probably is one of my favorite OG Star Trek episodes because of the tactics, the subterfuge that they have to employ to be able to get the drop off one another, like the appreciation of like just the simple rules. When cloaked, Enterprise can't see you, the Romulans can't fire. You have to shoot blindly. Like, ooh, there's a tail. There's a comet's tail that will leave a visible trail. We know the direction that they're more or less glowing because we have a general blip on our sensor, but we can't actually pinpoint the exact location where they are. We just know the trajectory that they're heading back into the Romulan neutral zone. So we're theorizing that they are Romulan until the point where like the overzealous Romulan. Whatever his name is, the dude plays Ston, sends the transmission back, so the Praetor can see how glorious their mission is going, and that gets intercepted. And then it's like the little slow reveal about who it is, and then Styles being extra dickish to Spock, and like the prejudice of the old war coming through again, like all these and then to the final combination where like what purpose would it be to die? And he's like, we are creatures of duty, Captain. Just one last duty to perform. In another lifetime, I could have called you friend. Just those moments, like the whole episode, it's just so good. The build up of the tension, the reveal, the loss of life on the asteroids, like it all just works so well, and like the practical effects. Well, not the practical, like the limitations of the CGI that they had, and they actually had to lean into good storytelling. But the CGI that they did have lends itself really well to the way they did it. It's just, like, nothing will beat an epically crafted story.
Quite so, exactly. And maybe that's why some old sci-fi seems to have just better stories. And I'm not going to say better storytelling all the time, not better direction. There's plenty of campiness and hokiness and ooh, close your eyes and cringe sort of stuff in old sci-fi, but among it all, maybe some people might call it preachy, but there was always sort of a message and an examination and a cool thing happening in old school sci-fi. Soylent Green, it's people. What do we do when there's not enough crops? We're gonna turn them into people. The Matrix, the people are gonna be batteries the robots took over. Like shit like that is fun. Interesting sci-fi. Well, the Matrix, I don't know how sci-fi that really is.
Well, it's pretty sci-fi,
I suppose. Ooh, Death Machine.
I mean, like the whole human race has turned into
gooey human battery things.
It makes more sense on the OG script where it's the minds that are being used as the central processing units. That works so much better than just us being as batteries. Because humans as batteries is a ridiculous idea. Using our minds as computers is one of like the smartest things you can probably freaking do.
Now I wonder how you. Oh man, it sucked that I didn't get to use my Death Machine at all.
Oh right, I forgot. It's not because in multiplayer it's like the bullets, not how long. Oh, George is behind us.
Yeah, here it's just timing, and since I got at the end of a round. and the beginning of the round took forever to start. Yep, just that makes me sad. Makes me sad.
Oh, we're so dead.
Oh dear. Oh,
Retreat
dear.
down.
Retreat! Retreat! Alright, I hate that.
Keep.
I hate that part in the Two Towers. That might be the worst depiction of like that keep. I don't know, man. I cannot imagine it's that easy to breach that keep, even with explosives.
Well, I mean, the story, it's different in the book. Let's put it that way. It doesn't quite fall exactly, and also like the tower actually in the Hornburg is used, and it's not used in the movies at all. It's just there for no good reason. And
for Gimli to blow the horn at the end.
Well, at the beginning. Which is also ridiculous, because I don't give a crap if you're a dwarf, or an elf, or a man. I mean, unless you're a dragon, you don't have big enough lungs to make that work.
No.
That is, I mean, like, those are two stupidly long horns. And
you need a bit of a bellows assist, I think.
Yeah. And not just a little. You need a massive one.
And it has to be enough. Yeah, you can't just like blow air through something and hope to make a sound. Like, you blow through air through a trumpet doesn't mean you're going to make a noise, you know?
No.
And I guess it's not trumpet, but I'm sure it has the same kind of like play. That's how you play it. You buzz, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just imagining. I don't think it has a reed.
No, it's definitely a,
Can you imagine if it had a big old
instrument.
fucking cane reed? It's a clarinet.
Oh, just hang on. Let me wet this double reed for 5 minutes under my tongue.
Yes, that'd be so funny.
Please, Urukai, just relax. Eat yourselves for a few more minutes. It'll be alright.
Okay, how about a less realistic assault? Minas Tirith. Don't you think that the way they portray that in the movie is not at all the way that a siege of Minas Tirith would actually go down?
Well, no.
Everyone
and
fucking
they
bailed
also
too. Gondorians they look like giant fucking pussies in the movie.
They also screwed it up with in the movie. Like, it doesn't happen. I mean, like, the civilian populace is fucking Whoa. I did not realize you were down.
I just like glitched out for a moment, and that was fun. So not really sure what happened there. I saw the desktop for a second, and that was really weird. Then I got back to the game, and there I was, slightly dead.
Oh, that's trippy. Well, what do you want to do? One more round, or? Because we're an hour in now. Hour and 4 minutes.
We can call it.
Alright, well, everyone, if you made it this far, I hope you like our game stream of consciousness. It definitely went all over the place. Started with Star Trek and ended up with me right about to explain to y'all what went wrong in the Battle of Minas Tirith. We will save that for the next game stream of consciousness, so don't you worry. Our next video will be dropping sometime early next week. Catch it, and you will definitely like it. It is the worst mistake Star Trek ever made. My opinion, not everyone's. We will definitely see how things.
We'll see if I agree.
Yeah, we'll see what my brother says about this. Like, comment, subscribe down below, and we will catch you guys next time.